It's quarterback heavy, obviously. Devin Leary, he transfers to Kentucky. Mark Stoops is one of my favorite college coaches. Hell, he's one of my favorite people. I've sat at the track in Lexington in Kentucky and had one of these right here with my boy Mark Stoops. Trev, me and you are doing it tonight, but I've had one with my boy Mark Stoops. It was absolutely beautiful. So I understand why players want to go to Kentucky. I'm not a guy that sits back and goes, man, how does Kentucky get Will Levis from Penn State? How does Kentucky get Liam Cohen out of the NFL to come be their offensive coordinator? How do they keep getting these guys that have options? Well, Mark Stoops is a great football coach, and he is a guy that knows how to do more with less. He's a guy that knows how to surround himself with a great coaching staff, and so no surprise that these guys keep ending up in Kentucky. But Devin Leary goes from NC State, North Carolina State. He transfers to Kentucky. Last year, Trev was a little bit dicey for Devin. He didn't stay healthy. The numbers weren't real impressive. But 2019 is the year that I want to talk about for Leary at NC State. 2019, 66%. I'm sorry, it was 2020. 66% completion, 3,400 yards, 35 TDs, and 5 interceptions. I got my damn numbers all wrong. That was the season before last, so that was 2021, right? I don't know what the hell I got 2019 in my notes for, but it was 2021 at NC State. 66% completion, 3,400 yards, 35 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He was one of 5 of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award finalists. This guy had an unbelievable amount of success at NC State. Not your typical transfer here, Trev. This is a guy that, and I'm sure there's an inside reason of why, but this is a guy that's had a lot of success and started a lot of football games at NC State that's going to Kentucky.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that I would say makes sense to me on a certain level. Let me start with my foundational comment. The grass is not always greener. I am a transfer quarterback. I was at a program. I played a lot of ball. I transferred to another program from OU to A&M, and it worked out for me. But it was not easy. Getting to a school and in 1 year's time trying to develop culture, trying to find the bathrooms, trying to get your teammates to surround you, it was not an easy thing to do. So foundationally, I'm somewhat against if you're a starting quarterback wanting to move elsewhere. I moved because I got beat out. Baker Mayfield beat me out, and I wanted to go play again. This is a little bit different story. Why I think this was a good move for Devin was that you just mentioned it. This was not as good of a year as the year that you rattled off the stats for, right? So he can step out. He can go to a program where he should and he will be the guy. He just saw Will Levis have a year that, started off hot, got a little cold. You know, they had some things go against them, but he's still going to go play in the NFL, to my estimation. And he's going to step in. He's going to play against the best talent in the country in the Southeastern Conference. So Devin Leary, for me, is saying, okay, I know I have it in me. Let me step away. Let me go into a conference where I'm playing against the absolute best week in and week out. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to ball. And if I do that, I've got a chance to go make a name for myself in the no fun league, as I call it. And I think it's a pretty good move, and obviously a huge pickup for Mark Stoops and the Wildcats there in Lexington.
Absolutely huge. Look, there's no doubt about it. Word on the street is too, by the way, at Kentucky, is that Liam Cohen, who left after the 2021 season and went back to Sean McVay's NFL team with the Rams, is rumored and has been asked about it in the media and was kind of a little bit ducking and dodging the question. It's rumored that Liam Cohen's going back to Kentucky to be the offensive coordinator. So you look at a guy in Liam Cohen, who took Will Levis in from Penn State, and Will had his better year in 2021. They were 5th in scoring. You're going to have a good defense because that's who Mark Stoops is. You're going to have a good run game because, again, that's who Mark Stoops is. And Liam Cohen coming out of the NFL with the NFL connections that he has, I think this was a really good decision for Devin Leary to go to Kentucky. Again, I think there was some kind of with a good chunk of these guys, and I'm not saying it's a huge negative, but I think there's always a reason why an established quarterback that's had big time success in one organization leaves, whether, like you said, you get beat out, or for whatever reason you don't see eye to eye with a head coach, or a coordinator leaves, or like Jordan Addison left because Kenny Pickett went to the NFL and he didn't know who the next quarterback was going to be at the time. So I think there's always underlying reasons, but all in all, I think Devin Leary to Kentucky will probably end up being the biggest move this offseason in terms of a guy going and actually producing.
We're dropping our merch.
We got to start calling Underwood Daddy Brad.
I'm a big pod guy.